Previously on Get the Fun Outside.
Look at your little deer. Musings in the Woods, everybody, by Anthony. Alright, well, seems like it's a bit too cold to actually show you this whole process, so I'm just going to chime in very quickly here. So I've got that first load ready to rock with the twigs and a couple of pieces of the actual tree. I'm going to come back with another sled, let Marla process the branches and stuff there, and I'm going to come back out and buck up the rest of the big tree and the two small ones, and then I'm going to call it a day for the wood collection on my end at least, and so I can get some work done before the gang gets back. So yeah, sorry I can't show you all of it, but my phone shut down because of the cold, so before it shuts down again, I bundled up all of those trees and tied up the saw and the axe in there too, just so nothing falls out while I go. There's plenty of other dead standing in and amongst this area, a lot of it dry, so I'll be back for a lot of that, I'm sure, over the coming days. We've still got just shy of a week left to go on our trip, so may as well make the best of it and get some other stuff ready for the next season as well. And we're on the move. It was a struggle to get through the woods there, and I've not got much battery power left because of the cold again, so just wanted to show you me dragging my ass with this big bundle of wood and this beautiful trail. Doesn't get much nicer than this. Maybe warmer, but this is gorgeous. It's very bright sunshiny now. I think it's time for a tea, and then when the gang gets back, time for a cider. Swear by the katana.
That's super cool.
Even with the contract I had to spend some time working on at the camp, that didn't stop me from processing a good chunk of wood on the ragged sawhorse I had built 2 years ago. And while it's never mild work, the silky katana boy definitely made a huge difference in comparison to the old rusty saws that sat in the woodshed. It was a wonderful thing to see the wood piled up, ready to go, and the smoke billowing from the cabin. Eventually, we had to pack out Luke and Heidi so they could head back south. That being said, we headed back home first to drop off Heidi so the gang could come out to see Marla and I play a gig at the Uptown Resto Bar in Arnprior. If you ever want to see us play, just keep an eye out for the long and short. We'll have an album out by Christmas 2022. See? Work never seems to end. This particular hike out was not so bad at all. We had all walked the trail so many times by then, and with the little amount of gear that we had to hike out, it was a breeze. A breeze full of snow, and there was a lot of it to clear off the cars when we got to the parking lot after the 3-kilometer jaunt. But it was beautiful. And it must be said that no one quite seemed to mind having a night back in civilization, to enjoy a warmth we didn't have to wake up to keep going several times through the night. However, we did head back to camp eventually, as we had to do our cleanup, enjoy a few more bevies, and finally say goodbye to our wonderful winter camp. Before that, we had to say hi to a little pine marten that had industriously dug a home under the cabin and had been sneaking into the cold room to take chunks out of the frozen tortilla we had sitting on one of the shelves. I can't fault the little scamp. Tortilla's delicious. But I definitely was annoyed that I didn't end up enjoying any.
Are we on the way out? Yeah. Look at all of this. It's probably fine. Oh God.
The final hike out was certainly a more cumbersome one. Making sure to pack out our empties and garbage, and stack everything in one go so as not to make 2 trips like when we arrived, proved an interesting task. As we reached the final hill climb before the parking lot, we sent Marla ahead to start the cars and clear any snow, while Christine, Cassandra, and I took a needed break from hauling so much out. Reflecting on the adventure, there was an understanding that 2 weeks might be just a little too much for next year. I think this was a mix of lacking properly dried firewood, a butting of heads in close proximity, and the severity of the cold on a number of nights. I would certainly make the excursion again, especially having learned from several pitfalls this time around. There's no shame in getting things wrong time and again. There might be pain, but there shouldn't be shame. What there should be is the understanding of knowledge attained during a time of trial, and an appreciation of good friends to share it with.